give it a try. Okay, The National Ideal, written by Joseph Hanley in 1931, a very strange kind of Catholic, nationalist, socialist, kind of right-wing piece of writing, but very, very predictive of what came later. Flags at Balnaboy, Joseph Hanley. The subtle influence called nationality, this force that we can feel intensely or completely lose and which we cannot easily define, is all in one the greatest educator, economic organiser and the greatest national protector that any country can have. Mihola Shine, UCC, 2006. The gas from Corrib was always intended for export. We always knew that there was no advantage for Ireland. The best of our pearls have been given away. So that's Mihol leaning strangely to the left, which is quite appropriate for him. 450 billion. Joseph Hanley. The country possesses a considerable but undetermined mineral wealth. The Geological Survey has collected a quantity of data. The economic utilisation of this by the Irish capital and Irish people should be our main aim. And of course, went horribly wrong. Corporate protest, this was the closest I got to meeting Bertie Ahern. You can just see one of his minders there in the left-hand window. Mihol again. Ahern told me that he knew we were not a NIMBY project, a group, but that the project was in the national interest and that it was going to go ahead, whatever. Justice. Joseph Hanley. Our greatest financial problems will be in the future, our financial relations with England, until these relations are settled on a basis of national honour and national justice. And that's been cut into the field. You can just see the letters justice back in 2005 by John Monaghan. Yeah, very strong image here. This was on the front of all the newspapers on November the 10th or November the 11th, 2006. Ken Saro-Wiwa anniversary. This is basically what happens when the state's forces are given no restraint. Ken Saro-Wiwa Memorial up in Mayo. Joseph Hanley. Prosperity does not mean the amassing of unlimited wealth by individuals or organisations by whatever means that they are able to command. It means the equitable prosperity of the people as a whole. This is a great image. It really shows what happened to the people up in Rossport during that time. They're totally corralled there by guards. There's actually people from all over the country there as well, but that's John Monaghan, local blacksmith and engineer, giving a kind of rousing speech in the middle of it all. This is just outside the gates of Balnaboy. They're a gas refinery up in Rossport. Shell barrels. This is a prediction made in 1898 by D.P. Moran. The time is not far off when many industries that are suitable for the present condition of Ireland will largely be run by English commercial enterprises. We cannot beat them at their game, so we must play our own game. And this is Niall King facing down, I think Sergeant Larkin, maybe other people here can correct me, but this is the kind of resistance you'd see a lot up in Mayo. He was a history Irish teacher, a real Michael Davitt devotee, just basically taking the moral high ground. Swardican Bay. Joseph Hanley. If developing Ireland means filling the country with capitalistic chimney stacks, controlled from abroad, and with all their unsavoury characteristics, it would be better that the country remains as it is. The refinery again. This was the kind of community policing that had to be done kind of repeatedly over the years, especially as Shell was causing massive aluminium pollution to the local water supply. So the locals had to keep walking in and environmentally policing the situation themselves. This is actually a load of other people there that day as well. This is Broadhaven Bay, looking over Broadhaven Bay. Joseph Hanley again. The rural population consists of the mainstay of every land, and the moment it is submerged, the country becomes economically and socially unsound. This is Maura Harrington's hunger strike. It was a very controversial action, but she claimed that it was in the ancient Irish tradition of going and sitting on somebody's doorstep when you felt that they'd wronged you and not eating until the wrong was righted. Strength in community. Joseph Hanley again. We have now an opportunity, as never before, of originating a social and economic system suited to ourselves and built in our own way. This was actually painted by Tom Campbell, who I'm sure a lot of you know well, and a lot of Cork people up in. This is Pat O'Donnell's house, one of Pat O'Donnell's houses. This is Terence Conway with a camera ever ready in his hand, talking to some of his friends up in the, outside the gates. This is a little quote from him. If this project goes ahead, one day soon, Ireland will be the laughingstock of the entire world. And that was, he said that in 2006. This is a development plan for Kilcommon Parish that was put together by the local community, basically for the future of the community without Shell. If we have the courage, trust and faith to turn to our own land, we will find here all the resources we need to build our economic system, save ourselves and save the world. And this is down at planting a tree. It was a tree project that herself and the boatman, Ray Corduff, organised in just outside Rossport village there for the last few years. And the last slide, I'm going to go back to Micheál Shine, another quote from him. What kind of island do we want? What kind of island do we want for the people after us? Do we want to leave a legacy after us that can only be solved by violence? What kind of island do we really want? Not the kind of island that's most convenient for making money at a particular time by particular people.